Hello, it's Colette. Welcome back to my channel, and this is the weekly tarot card for the week commencing Monday, the 4th of September 2017, and it's the Three of Discs. It says work on it. Again, Rohrig has some fantastic visuals, and this has a wee man, well, quite a big man actually, quite a strong man, with a huge boulder on his back. And if you look at him, he does look as though he's tolerating the weight quite well. So what does it mean? In general, the Three of Discs is about working hard, just head down, getting on with it, and taking the stresses and strains of whatever is thrown at you, and indeed having the ability to take the stress and the strains of what's thrown at you. And that makes it actually a good card. In some of the other decks, it brings out more of a kind of collaborations and sharing the load with people and making sure that the work just gets done. It's a time of putting effort and strength and a sense of your own sheer bolshiness into it to get the work done. So if you think of that in any area of life, that's got to be good. And indeed it is. It's a very, very good card. I do enjoy it when it comes out. Yes, I know when it comes out that there's going to be burdens, particularly maybe to do with work or career. But sometimes, you know, when you've a lot of work on and you've just got to get through it, that's the time when we just got on with it, and we actually can surprise ourselves at how much work we've got done. Think about that. Think of the times that if you've got distractions and you've got a deadline and you distract yourself, you put things off. But if you've got a deadline or you've got something that needs done in the next 2-3 days, then you will do it, and that brings the energy of the card that it's time to get the work done in whatever area of life that is. And yes, because it's discs or pentacles, it tends to be more to do with the practicalities of life. So for career, it does show a very, very hard working week, a time where you'll maybe not just have your own work to do, but other people's work to do. But it's a time where you can show your strengths. You can be this little Manny that says, yeah, I'll take that weight. It's not taking it long term. This is a bit of kind of short term. You know, we all, you know, would wonder if we had that weight on our shoulders forever, but for a short period of time it could be manageable. So with career, it's a time where maybe to show yourself off as being able to handle stress, to handle deadlines, to handle whatever's there for you. And in doing that, it can have a very, very good long-term effect for you. So very, very good career card this week. And remember, it's not just maybe about yourself. If you work as a team, then spread the weight round the team. If you've got an apprentice, you know, give them their equal loads. You know, it's not about you taking it all if you have a team that you work with. If you're self-employed and it's just you, well, tough, you just have to go on with it yourself. Now, if we look at health, again, there's the aspect of getting on with health and giving it a boost, but this card tends to, I use as my card for sort of pain and pressure on the hips, the knees and the ankles, simply just because the way it looks to me is that the man is taking the weight on his lower back, his knees and ankles and hips. And yeah, short term that might not be a bad thing, but longer term, no. So anybody with bone problems or lower back disc problems might find that it's advisable not to put too much stress on them in the week ahead. And another thing that comes out with that, this card can say, do you need a wee support? Do you need an ankle support? Do you need a knee support? Because if you do, go and get them, because you'll be able to hold yourself up better with a wee bit of support. If we look at love, for those of you in a relationship, it can be that, you know, there's maybe a deadline on things getting done. You could be in the run-up to a wedding or a holiday or something that as partners you have to work together and shoulder the load equally. And where it can be negative is if one person feels that they're shouldering most of the load and the other person isn't. So in long-term relationships, it's about being fair, and it's not about one person doing it all and the other person sitting back and watching Game of Thrones. It's about sharing the work, and in doing that your partnership will become stronger. If you're looking for a partner, it's a good time to actually ditch your baggage. You know, if you've got things that have weighed you down, just ditch them, and then you're more likely to meet a person with less baggage too. You know, like attracts like. If you've got loads of baggage, you're likely to attract someone with loads of baggage. So if you can dump your load, they can, you know, you attract the right type of person for you. With money, again, although it's Dis and Pentacles, this card to me is more about the career aspects. But where money and wealth's concerned, to me it's about maybe taking the burden of something but knowing that it's only short term. You know, sometimes we get the chance of a bargain, say we bargain holiday or a bargain washing machine or something, and we might not totally have the money that we need, or it's buy for something else. But if you look at it, you know that it would be worth the short term kind of burden to get that bargain or to get that thing that will be better longer term. Again, it can be like starting up a savings plan where you have to put you know, a big bit in, and then you don't have that available to you. But for the longer term, you know that nest egg's going to be there. So again, a good financial card, and one to be quite happy and joyful with. Spiritually, because there are a lot of people opening up spiritually, sometimes when this card comes out and they've opened a bit and they're getting more through, they can feel that it's too big, it's too heavy, it's a load, it's they're not up to it and whatever. And a lot of spiritual people with this card can kind of decide to dump the load or just go back a wee while. Spirituality is, you know, it's step forward, couple of steps back, two forward, one, you know, it's never linear. So if this week you do feel that the burden of your spiritual path is getting a wee bit too much, then offload it a wee bit. Go have a wee break. You know, if you're being spiritual and walking your talk, that's great. But say you're a reader and you've been doing a lot of readings, or you're a healer and you've been doing a lot of healings. This card can say, well, you know, I'll take the load on, I'll do that for another few days, but then I need a break. Know when the load is getting too big for you to manage, and then have a break, or even share with someone else. And I always think the answer to this card is, a lot of the time, is just sheer communication, an understanding of yourself to know how much of a burden you can take over the shorter term and really do well from that. But also understanding that there comes a time that that wee man, no matter how strong he is and how much ability he has, he's not going to be able to keep that up forever. So short-term bursts of creativity, of spirituality, of making your mark is fine, but remember, the load also has to be put down. And with that, I think you'll have a really good week ahead. Again, it's an earth card because it's Dis or Pentacles, and that will suit all you Virgos out there, and we're in the month of Virgo at the moment. So it's a good card for earth signs. They deal with it better than some of the other signs. But if you really want to show your potential, and if you want to impress someone, you've got a short-term kind of boost card here. And as long as you know when to quit, when to say, right, I've taken that load on, but I'm getting tired with it now, I'm putting it down. As long as you know that time, then you could have a fantastic week, okay? So many blessings. I hope you've enjoyed the weekly tarot card, and I'll be back with you next week with another one, and let's hope it's another good one. So many blessings. Bye now.